And we're live. Okay, great. Yay! All right. Welcome everyone to Authentic Conversations. This is episode 4, and I'm so excited today to have my dear soul sister, friend, confidant, doctor, wisdom, everything, goddess, Dr. Davia Shepherd. Thank you so much for being a part of this show today.
Thank you, Robin. This is the point where you insert your air horn.
I know. I'm like, where's my air horn?
I know.
I'll be cheering. Um, yeah, I'm just going to go on and see. I'm going to share this to my page as well. And to the ladies, you might hear a little echoing, but okay. Cheering. Yeah, I'm just going to go on and see. Sorry. I'm going to share this. All right, good. So hopefully other people will chime in. So I would love to start by just letting people know who you are and just to connect the two of us. Davia and I were in a year-long coaching program together where we became certified retreat leaders. And more important than that, I feel we became soul sisters. And we're part of a collective spirit. And yeah, I feel like I have many spirit animals in my life, and you've claimed one of those, one of those spots. There's something about like your energy and your zest for life, and there's no coincidence that you're the chief happiness officer for Ladies Power Lunch, which we'll talk about, and for your practice as well and your work. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you, just so we can get to know you and who you are and what makes you shine.
What does make me shine? Robin, that was such an awesome introduction. I feel like you are one of my spirit animals, so it's perfect. It's like mutual admiration society going on here. I am so excited to be on your show. Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Davia Shepherd. By day, I am a mild-mannered physician, and I see patients here in Connecticut. But by night, I'm a superhero. No.
Yeah, you are.
Also, in addition to taking care of our patients here, I do host a women's group called Ladies Power Lunch. And basically, it's kind of grown into a bit of a movement. It's a place where women who are looking for other women to support them show up, and women who are intentional about supporting other women, they show up there too. And so it's just a wonderful place for an exchange of ideas. Most of the women who are part of this group are entrepreneurs, or they're corporate women moving up that corporate ladder, or they might even be retired from the workforce. But everybody's kind of at a different level in their career path. And so everybody has something really wonderful to contribute to the whole conversation that we're having over there. And what I am certain of, what I know for sure, Robin, is that when we support each other, everybody wins. Just everybody. There's no such thing as competition. I know this for sure. It's a construct that we have invented, and for what reason, really? So in our group, we only have one rule, and our one rule is that we support each other. And that's what we do.
I have to say too, it's I'm in several Facebook groups, and when I say several, it's I can't even count how many. And I've been weeding out a lot of groups that I'm like, it's just not, the energy is off and everything. And Ladies Power Lunch is unlike any group I've been a part of. It's so unique. It's really is what you said, like women supporting women, and we're all cheering each other on, and we're all a part of that. And I love it so much. Like I feel so supported and seen when I'm in that group, and I see other women and connect with them and their stories. And what's awesome is professionally, you're a healer. Like you're a doctor, you heal people with pain, whatever they come to you for. physically, and you're also a healer. Like that's who I see you as in Ladies Power Lunch too. It's like you're healing, you're a healer of souls. Like, because it's refreshing when women come together in this space and really can come as they are and share whatever's there for them and look for support. So I saw you a little like, I don't know about that, but I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know because
Yeah.
the truth is, Robin, this whole group has grown completely organically.
Yeah.
It was never anything that I set out to do. There was never a day that I can really mark on the calendar and say this was a day that I decided that we were going to start Ladies Power Lunch.
Yeah.
What happened was there were a group of us women. We're all moms, busy. Some of us have older parents that are being taken care of, where some of us were working in corporate. There was one woman in our group who was running a nonprofit. There was another one who was CEO of a bank. There were just a few of us who were girlfriends, 6 of us, in fact. And we could not find a time to actually get together as girlfriends and just hang out because everybody was so busy. And this is a word that I've really tried to remove now from my vocabulary because I feel like it has a negative connotation and it doesn't bring the right kind of energy. But we were exactly that, busy. And so we finally found this one day, and it was the third Monday of the month, and it was 12:30. That was the time that we could all manage to meet, and it was wonderful. And at the end of lunch, somebody said, why don't we do this more often? I mean, this was great because if somebody had a question, somebody else in the group had an answer. If somebody was going through something, almost everybody else in the group had been through it before or was going through it too, so we could kind of commiserate and support each other. If somebody needed something, there was somebody in the group who could say, oh, I know somebody who can help you. I can point you in the right direction. It was, even though it was a little time off that we took to spend time together, it turned out to probably be the most productive hour of a week that I had ever had up to that point. And so when people started saying, oh my goodness, this was great, we should do it again, I said, okay, let's do it. Let's be intentional about it. How about if we put it on the calendar, the third Monday of every month at 12:30 p.m., we will meet. And if you can make it, great. And if you can't, it's not a problem. Just try to come next time. And also, you're always welcome to bring a friend. And that's how we started, with 6 women in a Ruby Tuesday on Route 6 in Bristol, Connecticut. And now we have a membership that is in the couple thousands, and we have a Facebook group that's really, really active. That's somewhere maybe about 500 or so women. We have retreats, we have summits, we have monthly meetings, we have all sorts of things that are going on as a result of a little thing that started 6 women having lunch together. So, when Dr. Chopra says that when women come together, wonderful things happen, I know this for sure. I've seen it firsthand.
Yes, absolutely. And it's that in itself is a beautiful reminder that just to follow that nudge and whatever, it was kind of like you were looking for connection and community and like, hey, let's go meet at Ruby Tuesday. And then you had no idea when you started it that it would turn into this.
None whatsoever. And like I said, it was not a plan. It was not a plan.
Right. And I think that in itself is beautiful, if for those of you who maybe there is something that you've been wanting to do and you're just like, I don't know how it's going to go. Don't think about that. Just think about the first step, and getting together with a group of women is a great first step to hear and learn from them and be supported by them. And that's what I love about your group, is it's very interactive. It's not like just a Facebook group that is noise, like serves as noise, like, oh, maybe I'll go to that group and see what's going on. But it really is, it's rich, it's beneficial. We get something out of it by being in each other's presence. And so I love that. And I love how you just reminded us of even the word busy. Like I once had a coach who said that she took the word overwhelm out of her vocabulary because it's in busy, overwhelm. They're all kind of in that same world where it's like heavy. It's heavy energy.
Yes, yes.
And so it's really cool to see that it's like, yeah, there's all these women that come together and they're just each have whatever they have going on and they're supported in that. I'm going to take my headphones out real fast.
I cannot hear you. You're muted, Robin.
Okay. Can you hear me?
There you are.
Okay. I heard a buzzing and I think it was my headphones, so I thought I'd go without. Yes, I want to talk about a little more about Ladies Power Lunch and some of the exciting projects that are developing. And I know one of them is a book that actually just came out called The Great Pause that you were a part of. So if you want to talk about that and talk about the new collaborative project that's coming, and then we'll also dive into the summit and tell people how they can get involved. So tell us a little bit about The Great Pause and what this book is about and how just kind of how it came to light and how you came to be a part of it.
So one of the women who is a part of our Ladies Power Lunch group, who is a dear friend of mine, and it has gotten to this stage where even though we have, a couple thousand members, it feels like I have a couple thousand good friends, right? Because we really stay connected and stay in touch in the groups, and we see each other when we meet at our summits and our monthly meetings when we could meet in person, and when we were able to go on retreats, we'd see each other in those sorts of intimate settings as well. So we've gotten very close over the years. And one of our dear members, her name is Elizabeth Hill. She's a licensed therapist, and she's also a licensed coach. And so she has been working with people to release some of the things that hold them back in their lives and that sort of thing. And she has found that she was getting a lot of clients who are writers. And so she was ending up being sort of like a book coach, coaching them through the writing process to relieve their pressures or to release the things that are holding them back. And so she had been a self-published author of 2 very lovely books in the past, and she was able to bring to fruition this book called The Great Pause, which was born out of the time that we're in right now. I like to consider it a time of transformation. But, it's brought challenges with it as well. Certainly COVID-19, everybody's heard about murder hornets and sandstorms coming from the Sudan and racial unrest and just all sorts of things that have been sort of piling on us in this time. And it was really a great opportunity that she provided for a number of different authors who had something to share about their experience with this time that was positive, something uplifting, something to build us up, because goodness knows we kind of need a little building up about now. And so that's what the book is about. It's just an anthology of stories from about 25 different people, men, women, people from here in Connecticut, all over the United States, and even in other parts of the world. And just the lens that they're viewing this pandemic time through, and their suggestions for raising our vibrations, how we can feel better and be better, and even a little positive note at the end about how when we're all in that higher vibration state, how maybe, just maybe, we can change the world. Yeah. So it's wonderful. I'm really, really excited. We launched on Tuesday our book. So it is live. It is on Amazon. You can buy it if you would like to. And it is, I think, something that was so needed. It's like one of those things that was needed, but nobody really realized it. And so if you search on Amazon under COVID-19 wisdom, it shows up.
Oh,
And it seems like a lot of people are looking for COVID-19 wisdom.
yeah.
And so we have been in 6 bestseller categories, #1. And we are also #1 last I checked, which was a couple of hours ago. It's kind of addictive because you keep
Yeah.
going back and looking at it. But as of a couple of hours ago, we were also #1 in new and now books on Amazon. So
I love that.
people have been really welcoming the message that we are hoping to share with the world, that it's not the best of times, but it could be the best of times depending on how we navigate this path that we find ourselves in right now.
Yeah, and I'll drop the link in for the book so everybody has it. But I love that you said that this is a time of transformation, and I feel that too. And saying that doesn't take away any of the challenges that are happening.
It really doesn't. And I'm so glad you said that, Robin, because I have a tendency to have a very light approach to a lot of things. And sometimes my light approach to a serious situation can be misconstrued as not caring. But I want to share with you that, and I think I may have mentioned it to you before, that, we lost my father-in-law to COVID. My dearest friend who runs my business, Sandy, she lost her mom to COVID. This is not a drill, guys. This is happening, and it's happening in a very real and a very heartbreaking way in a lot of families. But the message that we are trying to share with this book is not to try to put a happy face sticker on a bad situation, but to try to say, okay, the situation is as it is, and also let's see how we can move past it. Let's see how we can raise our vibrations, and if we can do it together, that's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's been the most beautiful reminder through all of this, is that we do have each other, and to not be afraid to reach out to people. Sometimes it's easy. I know I get in this myself, where I'll be in spirals and feel isolated and alone.
Mm-hmm.
And all I have to do is send a message and reach out to someone and say, "Hey, can we talk?" Or
Yeah.
And just use your community in that way. And if you're a woman and you don't have that type of supporter community, then join Ladies Power Lunch, and it's a beautiful support and energy. And I'll drop the link in for that as well. So yeah, I love that message, and thank you for sharing. And I hope everybody can go out and get a copy of the book. I definitely have it, and I'm excited to dive into it this week. So
thank you for getting that. That was awesome.
And then talk about, there's another book, collaborative book, that's coming that I'm so excited that I'm going to be a part of. It still hasn't quite sunk in. I just got my welcome email, and I'm like, it's so exciting. Yeah, tell us a little bit about this book.
So this book is going to be a little bit different. It is going to be a collaboration of just women, and they are mostly Ladies Power Lunch members. And I should say that there is no barrier to entry for Ladies Power Lunch. I mean, to be able to say that you're a member, all you have to do is join. There's no fee to join. There's really nothing. You just have to kind of raise your hand and say, I'd like to be a part of it. And there you are. But the book is a collaboration of stories from women who have gone through a tough time, perhaps. Maybe they've had a significant transformation in their lives, and they're being vulnerable enough in this book to share this transformation that they've been through. So this is so heartwarming to me that people said yes to this book, to being a part of this book, and they're sharing their really vulnerable transformation stories, and how their transformation has put them in a position to now be able to help somebody else to live their transformation and live their optimal life as well. So I think this is going to be really, really great. I love to hear the stories of others because I feel as though provides me with an opportunity to learn and to grow. There are some of us who we have to live through our experiences ourselves. We cannot take other people's words for it. Like my 6 year old, like I tell him, don't touch the stove. The stove is hot. And he'll put his finger as closely as possible just to make sure I wasn't messing with him. I'm not like that.
Definitely one of those people.
I know, right? If you tell me, if you write it in your book that, hey, you know what? The stove was so hot. It was a long day in July, and I reached out to touch that stove, and it was burning hot. I'm going to believe you. I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of person who loves to read other people's experiences. I love to read biographies. I love to read what other people have been up to so that I can learn more and perhaps avoid a mistake or two in my own life.
Yeah. And I love I don't know, it's that analogy too of transformation. And I know with your, like for the ladies power lunch and for the summit that we'll talk about, there's butterflies. And I think about that with transformation it's beautiful. Like transformation is beautiful and it's not easy. And you think about when a caterpillar is turning into a butterfly, it's in its cocoon and it's struggling to get out. And it's like fighting. It's almost that fight or flight mode. And once it gets out, then it's like, oh, life. And the beauty with these stories is it's reading and hearing other people's stories of transformation. And when somebody else stands up to tell their story, it gives me permission to tell my story.
I think there are many things that we go through, especially as women, that, I don't know, maybe society or maybe, look, I don't know, Robin, why we are the way we are, but we get that feeling like we have to be secretive about it, that we have to hide it, that we have to present this facade this facade of perfection. And unfortunately, what that does for the next person is makes them feel as though they have to present this facade of perfection, and on it goes. But if I'll give you an example because I feel like examples teach and words are just random. I had two miscarriages before I had my babies, and I had infertility issues, and having a baby was tremendously difficult for our family. And yet, this is something that women struggle with all the time. And when I'm in a group and the conversation leans to that and I mention it, then suddenly, if we're in a group of 10 women, there are 5 other women who are going to chime in and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you said that because I went through that very same thing. And I had this happen, and there was nobody to talk to because nobody talks about this thing. I mean, there are lots of topics like that, that as women, or maybe as a society, as people in general, but I'm talking about women because women are who I talk to in my ladies' lunch group most. But if we could be just more open, if we could be, as Brené Brown says, more vulnerable, then we would be invulnerable. And so that's what I want to encourage. I want us to share from our healed places so that others can heal too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I think sometimes I definitely I can get lost in that, where I feel like I'm sharing. It's like I've been writing a 30-day blog challenge, and it's caused me to really look deep within myself and be more vulnerable. And I notice that it's getting I don't know if easier is the word, but smoother in some ways to tell parts of my story. And I always just have to remind myself that by me stepping up and sharing a part of myself that maybe I've been hiding or afraid to be seen, then it's giving somebody else permission to share and say, like, oh, you're not alone. You're not alone. And so that's the beauty of it. So I'm excited to be a part of this book and to read all of the stories of the women who are part of this book as well. So yeah, so that will come out in September, right?
Yes, that book is launching on September 21st, which coincidentally is also the day of our Ladies Power Lunch Fall Summit. Now, before we had pandemic and COVID and quarantine, we used to have monthly in-person Ladies Power Lunch meetings. We used to have um, Ladies Power Lunch summits, and we also used to have Ladies Power Lunch retreats. On the 16th of March, our spring summit was scheduled, and that was the day that we went into quarantine here in Connecticut. And so I remember I was on the phone with you. I think it may have been 10 o'clock at night Eastern time. I was standing in the supermarket because we had just heard that we were going into quarantine. And I was on the phone with you, Robin, and I said to you, we're going to have to take it online. It's going to have to go online because you were planning to come to Connecticut to be at our in-person.
I still haven't canceled my flight, even though I was like, I don't know.
I mean, we had to move fast, and we had to move in an agile way, and we moved our summit online. So we were thinking maybe we won't have a fall summit this year. Maybe we'll wait until all of this is over. And then prevailing guidance said to me, you know what? We need a fall summit. We need an opportunity for us all to get together, for us all to talk about the things that are going on with us, for us all to support each other through the days ahead that might offer even more challenges. And so, how dare I not have a fall summit? And I was like, okay, we're having a fall summit. We're having a fall summit. And so on the 21st of September, we will be having our fall summit, and it will be completely online. However, we will still capture the essence of what our in-person events tend to be like. And I do things based on what works for me. So if it works for me, I figure it must work for everybody else. I don't know about you, Robin, but I'm all zoomed out. I've been on so many Zoom calls that I feel like Zoom meetings, Zoom conferences, listening in on CDC webinars, doing all of this other stuff that may have nothing to do with Ladies Lunch or anything like that, but just I am a little exhausted. Zoom fatigue has actually reached to me. And so in putting together and building our summit, what we have decided is that we want everybody to leave the summit with concrete action steps about how to go forward in their businesses, in their lives, in their health, as far as it relates to the time that we're living in now. But we cannot bring on a bunch of amazing speakers and have them just talk at you for 5-6 hours. That's not going to work. That's going to work for no one. And so we've put together, oh, Robin, you should see the agenda. We've put together this amazing group of women, and they're all coming at it workshop style. And we're going to get together in breakout sessions, and we're going to do experiential learning. Somebody's even coming with her singing bowl to get us absolutely attuned to what we need to face going forward. What I'm expecting, and actually what I know is going to happen, is that there's going to be magic in the room, the virtual room, on that day.
Yes.
I can't wait. I am so excited for it, and I invite, of course, any woman who's interested in this sort of thing to really give consideration to being a part of our day, hopping onto our Eventbrite site and taking a look at our tickets.
And I'll drop that link in as well. And I'm super excited to be a part of this. And I love the experiential factor because I agree. I've been experiencing Zoom fatigue for the past 6 months now, I think. And it's, you can tell the difference when you're on a call and it's like interactive rather than somebody just like talking at you the whole time. Then it really does make a difference. And I love like even the breakout rooms and everything. And I have some ideas, which I'm excited to talk to you about. And I know this afternoon you and I are going to be talking about. more about what experience I'll be bringing to the table. But yeah, I'm just like really excited about it. And so if you are a woman, it doesn't matter, entrepreneur or business owner or whatever realm you're in, that you're wanting support and for your life and your business and you want to take action. Because I keep thinking, I'm like, this is the perfect time because September is nearing the end of 2020. And I think, I don't know, I feel a lot of people like may think like, oh, well, I threw my vision board out months ago because it was clear it wasn't going to happen. And I actually pulled my vision board out yesterday and I'm amazed. I'm like, a lot of what I put on there is actually still happening.
Yeah.
And it still can
That's a
happen.
beautiful thing. That's a really beautiful thing. We're also going to be offering, because we love to give just so much, and we're also going to be offering for certainly everybody who's attending the event, but whether you're attending the event or not, we're actually going to be having two, what we're calling pre-note power hours. So one's going to be on the 31st of August, and the other one's going to be on the 9th of September. And we're going to have two of our speakers there who are going to be on the event. They're actually going to be sharing an experience during this hour so people can get a flavor of the sort of thing to expect. One woman, she's it's actually going to be sort of a panel situation, but these two women, they're going, one is a psychologist and one is a coach, and they're going to be talking about just the sort of mental health things that we can be doing, mental health preparations that we can be taking to help us get through this time a little bit more smoothly. Because I have to tell you, I have been seeing more and more patients coming into my office for pain, and I am not convinced that it's not related to the stress of this time that we're going through. The other pre-note is going to be so much fun. It's with one of our members who's all the way in Germany, and she is going to be bringing sort of an experience where you get to bring something to the workshop that's really says something about you. Bring an item that is indicative of you. I already picked out my item. It's this brand new pair of shoes that I bought, and I'm pretty excited about it because now I'm going nowhere. So unless I wear it to the supermarket, nobody's gonna see it. So I'm bringing my cute new shoes, and we're gonna talk about just how are we embodying the things that we love in our life. It's going to be tremendous. She's a branding expert, of course, but even if you don't have a business, you still are your brand, and what you're presenting out into the world is important. It makes a difference. And I just can't wait for that particular piece of the program as well. And like I said, that's free and open to anybody who wants to attend, whether they come to our event or not. That's something that they can interact with and take part with. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited. And that makes me think, you talking about the shoes, I'm like, maybe I'll bring my dress. I just bought a couture custom made gown on Monday from a local designer in Dallas who was having a crazy sale. And I went, and I stare at it every day. It's hanging next to my closet, and I'm just like dreaming about when I'll wear it and everything. And I love that because I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Maybe that'll be part of my experiential.
Yes, absolutely. Bring it.
Yay,
and we will all have fun together.
We will. So I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I will drop all of the links in for the Great Pause, for joining Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, if that feels like something you're called to, and also for the summit, so that you can be a part of that day and really connect with some phenomenal powerhouse women. So I'm so excited for that. And is there anything that you would like to leave, any nuggets or anything that you would like to end us with today?
I would like to remind us to stay connected with each other. I know that we're being asked to stay 6 feet apart, and really, as a physician, I see the value in that. There is value to, the quarantine and all the procedures and all of that, but don't forget to stay connected with your communities somehow. Whether it's, we have so much technology available to us now, whether it's, FaceTiming or meeting in a park and sitting 6 feet apart, whatever it is that you have to do, stay connected and stay full of love. That would
Yeah,
be what I would say.
I love it. That's a beautiful way to end. So with that, connect. If you heard anything today, feel free to connect to Dr. Davia or to myself, and together we can all make the world an even better place.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much.